progress. McCade had a tear in the MCL. It wasn't the ACL, so that's a positive. No surgery required. We'll just see how he does here in the next few days, how that thing works out. It might be longer than that, but we'll see. Wanye had a bone bruise on his knee. Those are pretty painful things, but he's working through that. Other than that, everybody worked today in some form or another, and we'll just see how they did. Whether it was the Boltons, the Reeds, we'll just see how they made out through this. But as far as the game goes, there were some good things. There's plenty that we can work on. The ones were fairly productive there for the short time that they had. We're on top of the kickoff. In the rule, it's a little different than last year. So the ball normally goes in the end zone. It's a dead ball, and that's not how it is this year. Goes in, comes back out. You can't scoop it back in, obviously. Again, they're still looking at all of this. So we'll see where it goes from here. I think it was good for the officials to see it. I think it was good for us to see it. We understood the part of it where if it goes in, it's still alive. But again, that is similar to the sideline where you can be outside and reach back in. That part got clarified. It's not like that. So that's a live ball. So that's where we're at. Other than that, it's open to you guys here. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, 34 should have taken it and gone, and then McCole was trying to make it right, but what McCole should have done was picked it up and gone. But listen, that's not his. That's our responsibility for making sure that's clarified.
We didn't see Brian Cook out there. Did he walk out later, or what's his status?
Yes, he was not there. Personal matters, baby on the way. Right, so, yeah.
Andy, when you look back and watch the film, what did you see from Kingsley? And I know.
Yeah, no, listen, I thought he did a nice job in there. His feet, his sets were good. He was aggressive. I thought for the short time that he was in, he did a nice job. It was a good start for him. So he's got to obviously build on it the more time he gets and so on. But I thought it was a very productive start.
You guys have a deep wide receiver room. Are you sensing some urgency from Kadarius Toney, just knowing that it's very competitive at the back end there?
Say the
wide receiver from Kadarius Toney, just knowing that it's competitive back end.
Yeah, I mean, he was out here today working, and it's just consistency. It's just a matter that, and with the competition, and I tell all of them that. So there's a ton of competition, and you got to be on your game with that. So.
What does that do to your passing game without Hollywood as long as he's not around?
Yeah. So the positive there, Adam, is that he's going to be back, and but without him in there, his experience and that in the league, and but we've also got other guys that can step in and play. We'll be okay there. It's just we're pulling for him to get back, obviously.
Is it reasonable to think he could play against Baltimore?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Coach, did you miss not having a fullback last year? And when you look at number 42, when you look at Steele, does he look like a guy who could be a fullback and a running back?
Yeah, well, you saw what he was as a running back, and then he's learning the fullback spot as needed. We used Noah there last year, who can still do that, but. He's got to be a good special teams player. If he's going to make the team, he's got to be a good special teams player, and he's got to be able to carry the football and stay aggressive like he's doing right now. But he had a productive day.
Did you miss having a fullback last year? Did it hamper you in the red zone some, you think?
No, I don't think so. We adapted, and I thought Noah gave us some good snaps in there.
Andy, it was his first football game ever, but just when you rewatch the tape, just what jumped out to you about Louis Rezaman and where the improvement can go from game 1 to game 2?
Yeah, no, listen, it was exciting for him to have a chance to get in there and play. It's faster than what he's seen in practice. So I think from an experience standpoint, it was great for him. I think that was a positive, and then just build on it. So.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
All right, good. Thanks.
And that was Chiefs head coach Andy Reid live at the podium in St. Joseph, Missouri. Thanks for hanging out with us here on a Monday. Bit of a late start with a lot of live coverage here at KCTV5 coming your way. But I'm Jared Koller here. Excited to bring you Andy Reid, who you just heard, but also Jaden Hicks, the rookie safety, Xavier Worthy, and Carson Steele. Here's Xavier Worthy.
What do you think just your experience the first time at that podium?
Yeah, it was a good experience. It was fun. Just being able to get that experience. Hey, it was my first game in the field. It was cool. It was fun.
You think communicating with Hollywood, I guess?
Yeah, I checked on him after the game, see if he was all right, stuff like that. Obviously, he's a key to our offense, so just getting him back would be huge.
How are his spirits right now?
I think he's in pretty good spirits. He's just looking to come back and get back ready to work.
The first play of the game was called for you. Is that right?
Yeah.
So what happened there?
So they rolled to cover one hole, so it kind of took away my play. Kind of upset about that one, but it happens.
Jim, we've seen some work with you in the backfield and reverses, go section, that type of thing. How eager are you to maybe get some of those looks at?
It's huge. Obviously, in college, I kind of had like the freedom to get the ball anywhere on the field, reverses, bubbles, deep passes, intermediate. So just being able to have that here, just get the ball in my hands, I feel like I'll be a threat with the ball in my hands.
Are you itching to be part of the punt return?
Oh, man, I wanted one so bad the other day. I'm mad. They kind of just took me off, shut me down for the day. But, yeah, I'm ready to get my first punt return going.
Were you sort of battling to stay in the game on Saturday?
I wanted one of those punt returns for sure, definitely. But they took us off the field. I'm like, dang, I can't get a punt return. So I mean, it was messed up, but I understand.
What's your communication with Dave been like in regards to potentially returning this year?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be back there returning. They have us watching a lot of we watched a lot of Devin Hester. You know, he just entered the Hall of Fame, so coached him. So it was amazing just to be able to have a coach to coach him and understand the tools it takes to be great back there.
Andy, heard your name in a song lyric before practice. Tell us about that. How'd that come about?
I really couldn't tell you how it came about. I know of the guy that did it, but I didn't even know he was going to make a song about it.
Did you notice it today at practice?
Yeah.
When did you first hear it for the first time?
I heard it before the game the other day, and I was like, oh, shoot, that's cool.
As fast as you are, did anything about the speed of the game surprise you? Did it feel different than you thought it might, or did it feel just as you thought it was?
Coming into the league, it's different speeds at all levels. High school has their own speed, college has their own speed. Obviously, NFL, everybody's smarter, they move, it's just better. So just me knowing that, I kind of just, if I feel like I have more plays, I'll be able to get a rhythm going into the game. But I feel like I adapted to the game speed pretty well.
Did it seem to move faster around you than you thought it would, or not really?
First play, a little bit, kind of first play jitters. But then after I started getting in, get a little more feel to it, it kind of started slowing down for me.
Does your mindset change with not having Hollywood here and his status for week one kind of in the year right now?
No, my mindset is to be the best, regardless. Hollywood's definitely one of the leaders. He shows me a lot, teaches me a lot, but I feel like him just being there regardless is going to help me a lot. But my mindset is just to be the best regardless.
What do you miss with him and the lights?
You miss the aspects of two speed threats on the field. Obviously, we got Travis, Rasheed. But, yeah, just him being on the field with me, all of us, it'd be a huge threat. We're just waiting to get back.
With now having 16 training camp practices, just what do you feel like you've learned most about yourself, and what's been the toughest challenge to get through this camp?
The toughest challenge for the camp, I feel like just the playbook. I feel like I got really adapted to it. I've been in the playbook really all day, all night. Understanding the little bits, the formations, the motions, understanding what everybody else has, just so I could, what if I'm in that position? So just understanding all that, I feel like that really helped me in this training camp.
What about yourself, just first time going through this experience?
I feel like I learned about myself. I feel like I just feel like I could do it. When you come in the league, you have that. Everybody has a little bit of doubt, am I going to be good enough? So I feel like I kind of showed myself that I'm good enough and I'm meant to be here.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
And that was Chiefs rookie wide receiver, first-round pick out of Texas, Xavier, who, of course, made his NFL debut even in a preseason game this past Saturday in Jacksonville. We expect to hear from two more rookies, Jaden Hicks, the defensive back, and Carson Steele, the running back. Here is Jaden Hicks.
I'll say the atmosphere, even though it was a preseason game, the crowd was still pretty live. But yeah, I'll say the atmosphere.
Are you happy with your performance, Jaden? That's the first time being out there?
I would say I'm content with it. There's some plays that I could have made, still plays to be out there. But yeah, overall, I think did all right.
It's just been your comfort as you grow into a special teams role and learning multiple positions on defense is also trying to make an impact on specials.
Yeah, I mean, just running down there, using my abilities, but with the new kickoff rule, that's a bit of an adjustment with close spacing and stuff like that. But learning all the roles and plays on the defense, that's going pretty smooth so far. So I'm just looking to keep learning from that and, yeah, keep going from here.
How critical has Justin Reid been behind the scenes, and how good is it to actually see him get to do something today?
He's been amazing so far, coaching me up, learning what he's learning. He's showing me how to see plays and attack blocks, stuff like that. So he's been such a helpful guy in the room. So
I'm sure he's looking forward to getting back out there today.
Yeah. Yep, put the helmet on today. So
What could you have done differently on that penalty?
On that penalty, I would just say just aim lower. I tried to jump up to tip the ball, but I got pushed a little bit by the guard at the end of the play. So
You mentioned a couple of plays that you were thinking about. What was your takeaway from reviewing your performance and watching it, or things that you want to work on, and where you go from here?
Things I need to work on, I would just say, overall, I would just say, yeah, keep playing hard through the whistle. Some plays I was getting a little tired, but I mean, playing all special teams and stuff like that at the end of the day. But yeah, just keep going straight through the whistle.
Have you ever played somewhere hotter than that was Saturday night?
I would probably say that Wisconsin game when I was in college. Yeah, that was pretty hard.
What do you feel like in the locker room in moments before you go out for your first NFL preseason game?
It was amazing seeing all the guys getting ready for the game, getting all the jitters out as well. But yeah, it was good. Good atmosphere. I'm sorry?
Were you nervous?
Oh yeah, a little bit. Yeah, first game. Yep.
Jaden, were you asked to rush much in college?
Yeah. So my responsibility, I was all over doing whatever. So yeah, we were blitzing at the safety spot.
How do you feel like you are at that part of the game?
I feel like I can make plays there. So that's good that I'm able to do that in this defense.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
And that was Chiefs rookie defensive back Jaden Hicks, who had a strong preseason debut. Andy Reid, after the game, shouted out two players, Jaden Hicks on defense, Carson Steele on offense, who you are about to hear from any moment now, the rookie undrafted running back who spent college time at Ball State and UCLA. Important distinction, you heard Neil Jones asking Andy Reid about it. Carson Steele is a running back. He was taking snaps as a running back. I think a lot of fans think maybe he profiles as a fullback. One, he's wearing number 42, a typical fullback number. That's what Anthony Sherman wore as a fullback. He kind of looks the part. He's a big dude. We saw him bulldozing tacklers in Jacksonville. And here's Carson Steele.
Go ahead, Carson. How is that? Just all the fans cheering?
It's awesome. Just being able to come out here every day and, play a sport you've been playing since a little kid. Now you get to do it as a job. It's awesome. And seeing all the little kids, kind of mentoring you, growing up, looking at it, it's really a true blessing. So.
How many friends, family, that type of thing reached out after your preseason performance?
The phone was blowing up a little bit after the family. Just after that game, everybody was so excited for me to be able to go out there, like I was saying, first game, kind of have some success coming into it, and so they were all super excited for me.
What do you think would make you a good fit for that fullback role?
Honestly, that was kind of my main goal coming into camp. There's a little bit of talks here and there, and my main goal was trying to be like a Swiss Army knife, try to do it all, type of deal. And, wherever they need to put me in is where I can get in. And so, like they were saying, implementing the fullback in there as well, being able to block, especially catch out of the backfield too, not only just being able to run.
Has anybody ever asked you before in your career, Carson, to play fullback?
No, because it really isn't, a super big thing. But, being that bigger back, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, I was more of a style of a fullback, but wasn't a true fullback, if that makes sense. And so, it kind of stuck to me, and it's really, helped me get through this camp as well.
What have you heard from the coaches since Saturday night's game?
Obviously, we didn't come out with a W, which that's the main goal for the team. But, we just got to keep getting better, keep working at it. Everybody's really excited to see, the outcome of this season. What everybody's wanting, everybody's fighting for. And, so we just got to attack the day and keep going at it.
You get any feedback on how you played?
Personally, I did a little bit. But, we're really on to the next game, and that's kind of how we go. I was excited, celebrated, that night a little bit, scoring the first touchdown. But after that, it was kind of go time for the next week.
How do you feel like you did on the special teams part of it?
I feel pretty good. I was learning the new rules and stuff about the kickoff, so that's a little different to me. And I hadn't played special teams in a little while, since like freshman, sophomore year of college. So definitely was something new to me, and really got to learn from there.
As an undrafted guy, you can pick your team. What was attractive about Kansas City?
Just like I was saying, Coach Reid's had his fullbacks before. They didn't have one last year, and talking with the coaches and stuff as I got picked up, that was kind of more of a kind of thing we talked about, being that coming in on packages, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2s, and being able to be a bigger guy and block, especially catching out of the backfield too as well.
Have you ever been a lead blocker? Have you ever played fullback any time in your career and had to be a lead blocker for a tailback?
I had blocked like lead back before. UCLA, we kind of did a 3-back thing where we were blocking short yardage stuff, but never like a true fullback I'd played before.
How many teams do you feel like were more interested in you as a fullback? Like, at what point did you start to think I need to think about playing fullback and
that was kind of the big talks coming into training for the draft, especially just like I was saying before, being a bigger back. Teams talked about it a lot, but they also talked about me being running back too. So it's kind of a 50-50 toss-up.
You had a lot of nicknames in college. Have your teammates latched onto one yet?
There's been a few. The favorite one I would say is Crocodile, because my pet alligator. I would say that's probably the big one coming into it. So.
Yeah, you beat me to that, can you?
I spoiled the news. Yeah, I got him 2nd or 3rd grade probably. It's a Christmas present, and so I've had him a little while now, and he's probably around 4 or 5 feet.
How many
Is it
pounds?
a crocodile or an alligator?
Alligator, yeah, but I named him Crocky J when I was younger because I thought it sounded a little better. So, but I would say probably 90 to 100 pounds. Yeah, he's in a big aquarium back home. So.
A few more.
They didn't let you bring him here?
I'm not for sure yet because you have to have a bunch of permits and stuff. I definitely couldn't have him out in LA. So.
Was there a moment things kind of clicked for you, maybe here at camp or maybe earlier than that?
For sure. I would just say, having the other running backs too really helping me out. Pacheco and all those other guys, Clyde, they were really helping me learn the plays and stuff like that. So that's definitely been one of my big things to be able to click throughout this camp and trying to stay with the big guys, roll with them and really learning all the plays and getting the full detail to it.
Carson, 2 quick questions for you. Just, did you have to change your body at all to get prepared for taking on a fullback role? And based on your running style, just where does that sort of come from?
Honestly, not too much. I was always a heavier back. I was around 225-ish last season. I'm probably around 230 now, so about 5 pounds. But, added that on through camp, training, stuff like that. And just like you were saying, it's another role I got to take, and really excited for it, to keep pushing through, to kind of learn how to be able to block out of the backfield. And it's really helps my game to be able to do everything as well.
Is your running style, do you feel like it was geared for contact, or obviously, all the broken tackles you had on Saturday? Is that something that's sort of always been a part of your game?
Yeah, growing up, that's kind of, north and south was my big thing, straight up and down, being an older style running back, trying to push through everything, get those short yardage as well.
Who was your favorite back to look at growing up?
Favorite back, I would probably say LT, even though we had a little different style. I loved watching him. YouTube, that was my go-to for highlights before games, so LT was my favorite to go to.
Last one right here.
Just can you take us through that first run you had and just kind of the adrenaline you were experiencing during that run?
Yeah, for sure. Just like I was saying, all those people there, you got your family. I had family in Jacksonville too as well, so they're all there. Everybody's excited, first NFL run. I just kind of saw a little bit and then didn't, and then so I just had to put my head down and go, and that's kind of really, helped me keep pushing throughout that, that first series drive.
How much is that kind of your first reaction sometimes on runs to try and go over somebody several times?
Yeah, that's definitely kind of one of your first things, because I love to, establish like a, hey, coming in, this is the first play, and, we're not here to mess around, so kind of get in there and try to just run through everybody and go for it and then go from there. So.
Justin Ross give you any flack for
He did a little bit, yeah. I kind of pushed him out of the way to keep on going, but he was blocking, kicking butt for it, so I'm not mad at it. But
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Yeah, take care.
And that was Chiefs rookie running back Carson Steele at the podium in St. Joseph, Missouri. We'll get to all the details of practice and everything, but I want to start with the headline there that he has a crocodile, or his nickname is Crocodile, because he has a pet alligator since the second grade that's 4 to 5 feet that he named Crocky J, that that lives in a big aquarium. I mean, what else can you say? That is the Chiefs' new training camp darling, training camp star, preseason star. Andy Reid said he'll have a little work to do to still make the team, but first impression, very strong. All right, let's take a look at some practice footage as we talk about the headlines from training camp today. Now, the footage you'll see is not from today's practice. Today was a rainy practice, and Hollywood Brown was not there. But again, we want to show you some sights and sounds of training camp instead of looking at my face the whole time. And here is Hollywood Brown, who had a great catch, great training camp until his injury in Jacksonville on the very first play. And so let's start there with Hollywood Brown. He was not at practice today. We did not see him. However, Andy Reid did confirm that doctors were able to set his joint without surgery. He is back in Kansas City. He was hospitalized with a sternoclavicular joint dislocation on the first play of the game in Jacksonville. Went to the hospital in Jacksonville, stayed the night there, but did leave Sunday morning, is back. And the great news today is that he didn't need surgery. They were able to set his shoulder. It's all connected, everything. It's not exactly as simple as a shoulder injury. But his availability, Andy Reid said, quote, "We'll see about his status for week 1." I think that is we will not see Hollywood Brown again at training camp. We will not see him in the preseason. I think all eyes point to that September 5th game. Right now, maybe not likely. I would say the more realistic target is that week 2, because they have a week and a half off since they're playing on Thursday against the Baltimore Ravens. That week 2 game against the Cincinnati Bengals would, I think, be the most likely scenario. But listen, everybody recovers differently. We saw Tyreek Hill with the Hollywood Brown injury back in 2019. He missed 4 weeks. So we're right around that mark where I would expect it to be maybe even a game time decision, maybe even day of inactive. And so that's what we will continue to monitor, and of course bringing you the latest updates on Hollywood Brown here on KCTV5. Other injuries to note from today, both good and bad. Let's start with the good. You know me, half glass full here. Nick Bolton wearing the yellow non-contact jersey at practice today. He was practicing in a helmet with a wrap on his left elbow. The former Mizzou linebacker has been out for a couple weeks now. He did not play on Saturday, but he was back on the field. A great sign for his availability, if not for this coming Saturday, at least to have plenty of time to get back in time for the season opener. Then the other big, I think, news is that Justin Reid was at practice today in a helmet for the first time this training camp. Justin Reid had a quad injury. He made all of minicamp and OTAs, but something got tweaked between then and now, and he has not practiced at all until today, which is a great sign because we didn't think it was a serious, surgery or season-ending injury, but we didn't really know the details and whether or not he may or may not be out there for week 1. The fact that he was out there at practice today, I think, signals that Justin Reid should be good if all goes according to plan by week 1, which is a great sign for the now third-year Chiefs safety. Kadarius Toney back at practice today. He had practice before the preseason opener, but he did not play on Saturday. So, again, very valuable reps for Kadarius Toney to get back out there. Joe Thuney did not play on Saturday, but he was back at practice today, most notably taking part in the scrimmage periods, which at times he's practiced but not done full team drills. Mike Caliendo was slid in there at left guard. However, Joe Thuney was back there today, so that's a good sign for his availability going forward as well. However, the players we did not see at practice today, Chris Jones still out with that shoulder stinger. Clyde Edwards-Helaire out sick. Brian Cook, the third-year defensive back, was out with personal issues, and then Andy said his family's expecting a baby. So we wish the best to Brian Cook there. And Wanya Morris also out with that knee injury. Which one, again, signals Kingsley Suamataia is your starting left tackle, or at least it's his job to lose at this point, the rookie second-round pick out of BYU that you see right here. This was a competition at the start of training camp between Kingsley and Wanya, and obviously the injury makes it an easier competition, but even with that, Kingsley only really played one series on Saturday. If they really wanted to see a lot more out of him, you'd think maybe he would have played more, so that's a great sign for his prospects in earning that starting left tackle job. After that, Lucas Niang got the second-team left tackle snaps with Morris out. Good sign that he is the swing tackle on the team. Also has played right tackle, backing up Juwan Taylor. Lucas Niang fighting for a roster spot if the Chiefs keep 8 or 9 offensive linemen. He's fighting for that job. Hunter Norzad also took second-team center snaps. Now, other thing we want to mention here, this was KC5's Neil Jones reporting that the NFL is holding a meeting today about the new kickoff rules and whether the ball should be live when it lands in the end zone, because if you watch Saturday, we saw a ball bounce in the end zone, then back in the field of play. Deneric Prince, I don't know what Deneric Prince was doing. He did not pick up the ball, just started to walk away. And you heard Andy Reid's press conference today saying, hey, 34 should have picked it up. He didn't, so McCole Hardman ran over, picked it up, but then took a knee instead of running it out. Today, Andy Reid said, hey, McCole should have just run the ball out there. Instead, Hardman took a knee in the end zone. That resulted in a safety, causing some confusion. Some rule experts thought that it should be down at the 1. Obviously, in past years, that would have been a touchback. Either way, a confusing rule for the teams, the fans, the coaches, maybe even the referees. So our Neil Jones is reporting that they will discuss whether or not that was the right call, whether or not that should be the right call going forward. It is the preseason for everyone involved, so we'll continue to update you on that here at KCTV5 as well. Now, we mentioned you heard Carson Steele. Great interview there, great press conference for the rookie running back. Neil asked Andy Reid about, hey, is he someone who could play fullback? Because, again, I think on the surface, even Carson Steele acknowledged it. Like, he looks like a fullback. He looks like someone that could play fullback. But Andy Reid was kind of keeping his cards close to his vest there, saying, hey, he's a running back, but he's got to make the team doing a lot of different things, including special teams. Didn't say, hey, Carson Steele will be a fullback by any means, which I think is still possible because the Chiefs' running back depth is not, exactly all that proven. There's definitely playing time there. You have Isaiah Pacheco and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but after that, Deneric Prince is probably the third running back, and he doesn't have a whole lot of NFL experience. So there's definitely a job worth the taking there for Carson Steele, whether that is running back, fullback, when the position cuts start coming. And you also heard rookie wide receiver Xavier Worthy. I think my favorite part of his press conference was saying how bummed he was. One, that the first play of the game was drawn up to him and he did not get it, but also that he was bummed that he did not get a punt return in the preseason game. So maybe when the Chiefs return home to Arrowhead for the first preseason game, we'll see a punt return from Xavier Worthy, or that also might speak to how highly they think of him as a wide receiver, that they don't want to risk injury sending him out there on special teams. So either way, also, this is defensive line coach Joe Cullen. If you like watching animated coaches, he's your guy here. Getting into it with the offensive and defensive lines. Chiefs have a great coaching staff. You hear from Andy Reid, but up and down, they are the Super Bowl champs for a reason. So that'll do it for today's stream. A lot to look forward to, though. Tomorrow we have Matt Nagy coming to the podium, and we will continue to bring you live press conference coverage when Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, whoever, Chris Jones comes to the podium. We will bring you that live along with those looks at practice and the latest injuries as we continue to monitor the Hollywood Brown situation because, my friends, there are 3 training camp practices left. Shed a tear, single tear. So if you want to go out and see your defending Super Bowl champs, they're back at it Tuesday 9:15, Wednesday 9:15, Thursday 8:15. So set your alarm clock early. But if you don't get out there, fear not. We will be right here with you, bringing you training camp coverage here at KSTV5. For now, I will see you back here on the stream at 5:30 talking Chiefs, Royals, and college football. Royals have a big series in Minnesota tonight, and college football poll just released. All 3 local teams in the AP Top 25 poll, led by Mizzou at number 11. So we'll talk about that on the KC Sports Tonight stream, and, of course, our newscasts at 4, 5, 6, and 10. And then full coverage in our sports shows on air Saturday, Sunday nights at 10:30. So a lot going on, but for now, I appreciate you hanging out with me. I'm Jared Koller. Let's end you with a Travis Kelce catch. Why not?